Beep boop 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 beep boop. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's me, Matt from Diazable, and I'm here doing another album review. And today's album review, we're checking out the band Jesus Peace with the album So Unknown. And if you don't know anything about Jesus Peace, here's a little info dump on them. They formed in 2015, and for the most part, all the members have consistently stayed within the band, and they come from the Philadelphia area out in Pennsylvania. They've put out a demo, an EP, and a full length. And I know that like they did a split with Malice in the Palace, Malice at the Palace. They've released records on Bridge Nine, Southern Lord, and I think currently now on Century Media. They've been described as a mix of metalcore, hardcore, and a little bit of like sprinkle of like death metal in them. Um, a lot of people are saying they're like the new generation of hardcore in terms of heaviness, and which there is some truth behind that. I will admit to that. Yeah, and currently they've gone on tour with like Code Orange, Show Me the Body, Year of the Knife, to name a few bands. And they just dropped their new album, So Unknown, this past year. And me, Matt from Diazable, reviewed it. So let's dig into this review. So Unknown. Kicking off this album is the song In Contrast, and out the gate, it's a pretty heavy track. The drums are very thick and powerful. Guitars are very groovy. However, they're a little bit low in the mix, I think. Also, the vocals sound a little bit muddled here. Bass is laid very heavy and on top of the mix. It's a weird kind of like muddled heaviness. I know I keep saying muddled, but it just seems so very like hard to hear, and I don't know if that's on purpose or they just didn't mix it very well. Hey guys, have Fear of Failure. The drums kind of sound very like devilish and demonic to me in a weird way. It's got a lot of heavy distortion on the guitars here. They help carry the song, I think, very well. Vocals sound a bit cleaner than the previous song, so they sound really good. Drums, very, very tight. There's a slow and crazy breakdown, and it kind of like builds up before you get to it. But then like once you get to that breakdown at the end, it's like ungodly, like disgusting how heavy it is. And I want to play a clip of that. I cut myself off on that last song. Tunnel Vision is the next song, and it's like got like a slow, creepy vibe to it with the drums and how the hi-hats being played at the beginning of the song. The guitars throughout the song are very shreddy. Bass on this track is kind of lost or blended really low into the mix, I think. Then there's like a snappy two-step throughout the song. But overall, I feel like the mixing on this song was kind of like okay and kind of like odd. Again, very muddled and kind of hard to hear. But it does have a catchy ass breakdown, and like it's heavy, but nothing too like fancy or anything. It's a heavy ass song to be heavy. FTBS. The guitar riffs here are very, very interesting and fun to listen to. The drum fills sound very large and very tight here. It's got some good flow to it overall for this song. It's a bit chaotic here and there, but when they get into their flow, it's a nice flow and has a very chuggy and slow breakdown. And then we have the song Silver Lining, which has some weird, shallow sounding guitars that start off the song, but it sounds pretty good. Then we move into some echoey sounding drums that slowly build up over time to like a mid-tempo song change, or like the tempo change midway through the song, and it brings it back some heaviness while they're playing. The double bass on this track is pretty good, and the use of the tom drum during the slow two-step is like a pretty slick way to like insert some different kind of drumming in here. So overall, it's a very nice song. Now, Gates of Horn. Simple guitar playing throughout the song. The drum beatdown intro is pretty sick. Interesting use of like stop and going as they play, and like giving the song some time to breathe. Lots of intricate playing here as well, and I think a little bit of touch of like death metal, like blast beats and like guitar riffing. I get some death metal influence here a little bit, and they have a nice little fun transition that goes into a nice like 1 2 step part. It's pretty sick. The breakdown, I keep saying sick. The breakdown, very chaotic, very messy, very aggressive, very Jesus piece. It's very nice. Which like you think it's gonna be done, but then they bring it back and bring in like a tighter breakdown. So it's like breakdown on breakdown in this song. And Gates of Horn, I think, is one of the standout tracks on this album. So I want to play a clip of that, of this song. So yeah, Gates of Horn. Profane, slower guitar heavy track. Bass is sounding placed really perfectly on the mix. Vocals here are phenomenally like better. They sound really, really good. No muddle sounded vocals, very clear, very sharp. It's a dumbass, like dumb heavy track. Then it kind of moves into like a catchy like two-step. Like they go from being heavy to catchy very, very seamlessly. Oof. Then we had the lead single of the album, An Offering to the Night. It's dumb heavy, dumb heavy, very, very groovy. Drums, very fire here. Very in the pocket. The drum sound, mwah, choice. The bass solo during this song, oof, ooh, gets me every time. It's very satisfying. I think this is like the most sonically pleasing song on this album, and by far, I think the best track on this album. And I think I see why they use that as a single, because it really hooks you in. Next, we have Stolen Life. It kind of starts off like a little bit like a new metal song, I think, but like a little bit darker. It kind of reminded me of Korn, as crazy as that might sound. They really go hard on this song. Like they go really in, but then they pull it back, and like there's like some chillness to it. And then they go back into the hardness. They really push and play with this song a lot. Drums, again, on point here, especially towards the end of the song, with like leading up to the breakdown. Noise. So with that being said, here's a little clip of Stolen Life. They pulled it back a little bit on this song. And finally, we have The Bond. It starts very slow and builds up with this eerie creepiness with the guitars. Then it just cuts right in with a nasty assault from the vocalist. Like he's just going all in. Then there's some quick and snappy drum playing. Very, very sonically pleasing, I think. Then you get all these breakdowns, and you think they'd be pretty tiresome. Like it's breakdown with Jesus piece over and over. But they make the breakdowns pretty interesting. Like for being so stupid heavy, and at times it seems they would be redundant. Their breakdowns are pretty fun to listen to. Like I think there's never been not a bad breakdown. It's either been like okay, or pretty good, or phenomenal. Yeah. So yeah, that was my review of So Unknown from Jesus Piece. Just like I think everyone knows, they can do heavy very well. No one's gonna doubt that. No one's gonna argue that they can do heavy really well. They have the wrist for it. They have the vocals for it. They have the tight drumming play. They know how to be heavy. They know how to be intense. I think I was not always going in with like an open mind with these album reviews and everything. It's great. It's heavy. It's Jesus Piece. Jesus Piece is doing what they do well. It's being heavy. I wanted a little bit more, I guess, dynamic playing, even though I keep saying that. I'm trying to explain what that means. But I thought they would like bring in some more interesting elements. Like they just went heavy for the most part. Went soft a little bit here and there, but I thought they would maybe branch out and do a little bit of experimentation with this album a little bit. But it seems like they just doubled down on what they did, which is fine. But it left me wanting something more. It's hard for me to describe, but I just wanted some more intricate playing and just like the bass solo from An Offering to the Night and other stuff. Like, I guess I wanted some more grooviness to it, I guess. I feel bad me reviewing this album, but I can't explain how I wanted more from this album. But just I know it's good. It just there's still something missing, which I'm still trying to figure out what that is. But with that being said, everything's these guys did a good job of making a second album. And for that, I think this album deserves a nice 7.5 out of 10. I think that was my score. If my score was wrong, I'll change it in it. But I think off the top of my head, it was a 7.5 out of 10. So yeah, the new Jesus Peace album, So Unknown. Check it out. Support the scene. Check out Philly's local scene. They got a lot of good bands out there. And thanks for coming by, guys. These are a lot of fun. Bye. And mom and dad, if you're watching, I love you guys.